What if your entire life, your beliefs, your values, your discipline, was put to the ultimate test? Imagine waking up one day to find yourself ripped away from your home, your family, your culture, everything you've ever known, gone. That's exactly what happened to a young man named Daniel. Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel where we explore life issues through the wisdom of the Bible. Today we are looking at Daniel's life. Yet despite being thrust into a foreign land, surrounded by pressures to conform, Daniel didn't just survive, he thrived. He didn't let the world change him. Instead, he changed the world. So what was his secret? And how can his habits transform your life today? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll discover the 5 powerful principles that made Daniel unshakable. Principles that can change the way you live, work, and walk with God. The story begins in 605 BC. Babylon, the most powerful empire in the world, has just conquered Jerusalem. Among the captives taken into exile is a young noble named Daniel. But here's where things get interesting. Daniel wasn't just any prisoner, he was chosen. King Nebuchadnezzar ordered that the brightest young men be trained in Babylonian culture, educated for 3 years, and then serve in the royal palace. There was just one problem. Part of this training included eating the king's food and wine. It might seem like a small thing, but for Daniel, it wasn't. You see, this food violated the dietary laws that God had given his people. Daniel was at a crossroads. Would he compromise or would he stand firm? Daniel could have made excuses. He could have said, "Everyone else is doing it. It's just food. God will understand." But instead, Daniel made a decision, one that would define the rest of his life. Daniel 1:8 says, "But Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine, and he asked the chief official for permission not to defile himself this way." Notice the word resolved. It means he made up his mind. No hesitation, no compromise. But here's what's amazing. Daniel didn't just refuse. He proposed a test. He and his friends would eat only vegetables and drink water for 10 days. If they were healthier than the others, they could continue their way. And guess what? God honored their faithfulness. After 10 days, they looked stronger and healthier than anyone else. This moment set the foundation for Daniel's lifetime of self-discipline. Years passed, and Daniel rose to great power in Babylon. He became a top advisor, outlasting multiple kings. But not everyone was happy about it. Jealous officials wanted to take him down, so they tricked the king into signing a law. Anyone who prays to any god or man, except the king, will be thrown into the lion's den. Here's where it gets real. Daniel had a choice: compromise his faith or face death. And what did he do? Daniel 6:10 says, "When Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before." Did you catch that? Just as he had done before? Daniel's habit of daily prayer wasn't something he started in a crisis. It was a discipline he had practiced for decades. And that's the key. Your habits today shape your future battles. Of course, Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, but God shut the mouths of the lions and he emerged unharmed. Because Daniel was consistent, disciplined, and faithful, God used him mightily. But prayer wasn't just something Daniel did. It was who he was. Consistency builds character. Could you set aside just 10 minutes a day to connect with God in prayer or scripture? Daniel prayed 3 times a day, not just when life was easy, but when his life was on the line. What daily discipline do you need to strengthen? Prayer, Bible study, healthy routines? Start small, but stay consistent. 3. Clarity and priorities. Daniel knew who he served. He didn't let the allure of wealth or status blur his devotion to God. Ask yourself, what are your priorities? Are they aligned with your faith and values, or are you compromising without realizing it? 4. Courage in challenges. Discipline doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means trusting God despite the fear. Like Daniel, we're called to stand firm, even when it's hard. Where can you step out in faith today? 5. Trust God with the outcome. Daniel didn't know if God would save him from the lions, but he trusted him anyway. What's an area in your life where you need to surrender control and trust God? Daniel's life wasn't easy. He faced tests, pressure, and even death. But through it all, he remained disciplined, faithful, and unshakable. And here's the good news. The same God who sustained Daniel can sustain you. Start today. Decide, like Daniel did, to honor God, not just in the big moments, but in the small daily choices. After all, transformation begins one step at a time. So today I challenge you, pick one habit to build, one area to strengthen, and trust that God will do the rest. If this message inspired you, share it with someone who needs encouragement. And if you want more biblical wisdom to transform your life, hit subscribe and join us for the next video. Until next time, stay strong, stay faithful, and remember, it's God who sustains us. Remember, God is always working behind the scenes in your life. Keep trusting Him and watch what He does next. See you in the next video. God bless. Until then, stay blessed.